All right, JP. Jordan Peterson. You trying to take my job, dog? You try to take my job, bruh. Hey, JP is officially breaking down bars, bruh. Yeah, man. Facts. Tom MacDonald, Ben Shapiro. That song has really taken over the world, bro. Taking the world by storm, man. It's crazy, bro. Especially when I'm about to peep a reaction from JP bringing down some bars, bro. A reaction that happens to be 51 minutes long. Sorry, I can't do no reaction of anything 51 minutes long and nothing, bro. But to see JP come to the hip hop side, to the dark side, bro. Hey, I'm with it, bro. And for those of y'all who are unaware, I have two YouTube channels. One where I do the night talk stuff, and my other channel where I focus primarily on music, which consists of a lot of breaking down bars. So this is right down my alley, bro. So yeah, JP labels it a psychological breakdown. So I'm curious to see what that looks like. Like always, man, peep the merch, shopstevenight.com. If you find something you like, or if you ever see me rocking some drip that you rocking with, pull up over there, grab something you like, and cop. You know what I mean? Yeah, JP. Yeah, JP, bro. Like, how you get 51 minutes of damn bar breakdown from facts, though?
Hi, everybody. So, as you may or may not know, although most people know if they're vaguely awake,
Facts.
Ben Shapiro and Tom MacDonald have the #1 song in the world at the moment. And it's very comical because it's a rap song. And just the idea of Ben Shapiro doing rap, hip hop is comical in and of itself. It's even more comical because, you know, he's been a critic of that particular genre. So it's very interesting to watch Ben step out of his presuppositions, let's say, and also his domain of previous competence, although he is a musician. Anyways, on with the analysis.
Let's do it.
They call me offensive, controversial. It's only two genders, boys and girls.
Okay, well, the first thing we might point out here.
Bro, this just straight to the point, dog. You ain't bop to the beat. You ain't. Hey, I'm attacking this. Let's get it. All right, JP. Let's get it, bro. I'm sitting down in the chair. Let's break this down, dog. Look at it. Look at the seriousness, bro. JP ain't playing with this shit, dog. Come on, bro.
On with the analysis.
They call me offensive, controversial. It's only two genders, boys and girls.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, the first thing we might point out here with regards to use of language is that Tom does use genders. And I think that's actually what would you say? That's an interpretive mistake because he should have used sexes. By using genders, he fell into the trap that the leftists have laid with regards to language utilization. They're very, very good at occupying the linguistic terrain. There are a variety of temperaments, and that's easy to get confused with gender, and that's part of the reason we have the problem we have. And sexes would have worked because it's also a 2-syllable word, and it's a minor critique.
Really about to unload this, bro. Okay. All right. Well, I definitely can see how this is gonna go 50 minutes, bro. Because he's not just unpacking the lyrics. He's unpacking just everything. Everything, bro. We're about to break down the entire societal climate in a damn reaction of a song. Let's do it, JP.
In some ways, it seems picayune, which means minor, but it isn't. It's more important than that because if you let your political opponents gain the linguistic territory, then they win.
Facts.
Right? You can't, once you use their words, they win. So that's something for everybody to keep in mind.
You can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right.
So with regards to every Caucasian being a bigot and his claim that then therefore every Muslim is a terrorist and every liberal is right, which is, you know, definitely not correct,
Facts.
Especially if you're talking about the progressive mob. The fundamental problem with there's a variety of fundamental problems with the woke algorithm, reductive algorithm or ideology that Ben and Tom are criticizing. We did research back in 2016 looking at politically correct authoritarianism, and that was back when psychologists were just starting to analyze left-wing authoritarianism. And we found that the best predictors of being a left-wing authoritarian were being not verbally intelligent. That was a walloping predictor. It was the variable most closely associated with intelligence that I had ever seen, including...
What was the stat?
We did research back in 2016 looking at politically correct authoritarianism, and that was back when psychologists were just starting to analyze left-wing authoritarianism. And we found that the best predictors of being a left-wing authoritarian were being not verbally intelligent. That was a walloping predictor. It was the variable
so call them all idiots. But shit, nowadays, bro, these little Gen Z snowflake fools be using these 10-syllable words saying a bunch of nothing. I think about that all the time when I hear the crazy things coming from these psychopaths' mouths. You know, that's a word that JP loves to use. These idiots' mouths all the time. They smart as hell saying a bunch of nothing. Like y'all some smart, dumb motherfuckers, bro, because y'all are able to articulate yourselves so well with no common sense. The idiots, though. I'm not talking about all of y'all. I'm not even really talking about liberals, to be honest, at this point, bro. But there's a certain, the ones I am talking about are liberals, but I'm not trying to generalize all liberals. I'm talking about the crazy motherfuckers, bro. And these fools can typically, these college-educated wokies, be saying a bunch of nothing, using the damn longest words to explain they bullshit.
Most closely associated with intelligence that I had ever seen, including grades. And so, if you're not very bright, the woke ideology is very attractive to you. The second best predictor was being female. The third best predictor was having a female temperament. The fourth best predictor was ever having taken a course that had the woke ideology as a portion of it. Now, we are noting all over the world now that men and women's political beliefs are segregating. And so that's a reflection of the fact that this woke ideology is also a perversion of the basic female ethos. It's the extension of compassion far beyond its relevant domain. And it's an extension as a consequence of pride. So the women who are doing this, there's men who are doing it too, especially those that have a more feminine temperament.
Feminists. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I got the wrong damn sweater on, but I got it right here, dog. That's one of the reasons why we need to bring this. Matter of fact, I don't feel like doing all that, bruh. That's why we need to bring that back. Right? So we can overcorrect and balance this shit out, bro, because we in just the world of wholeness right at this point.
Making the claim that their love is so encompassing that everything can be brought into the circle, right? Even the snake, and that's the eternal sin of Eve, by the way. So there's a group identification claim. The fundamental claim essentially is the world can be divided into victims and victimizers. The victims are like infants. They're always good. They're always innocent. The victimizers are essentially predators. So you can see the feminine ethos in that. The problem with that is when you start to apply it to groups, you completely demolish the presumption of individual innocence. And there's no difference between the demolition of that presumption and the imposition of a totalitarian state. So now you might say there can't be that much information in those few lines, but the whole point of poetry, with its reliance on imagery...
Well, it's not that much information in those two lines. It's just that where Jordan Peterson decides to take it is what he thinks about when he reads those lines. Because he's so packed with everything, bro. He can probably come up with a conversation about two genders from his fucking cell phone, bro. He knows the stats. How many males use Samsung compared to how many females use iPhone. You know what I mean? It's just, he's a damn encyclopedia in that damn brain, bro.
Is to pack way more information into utterances than you could otherwise manage. And so a dense poem, which is the use of words to produce images, can have levels of meaning that are almost inexhaustible. That's partly why we remember poetry and poetic verse, let's say, image-laden poetic verse. We'll remember that for centuries because it's literally inexhaustible. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's like, well, a complex picture is worth a lot more than 1,000 words, and words can bring images to mind.
I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope, it's pathetic.
Okay. Go woke, go broke. You know, it's a nice rhyme, but there's something there too. And
I'm curious to see where JP's going to take that. Go woke, go broke doesn't require a lot of unpacking, bro. You talk that dumb shit, you will get broke. I'm not going to support you, right? That's it. But let's see where JP takes this, bro.
If you construe yourself as a victim and you develop and you have an external locus of control, that's the technical term from the psychology research literature, then you believe that you are nothing but a pawn of circumstances that are beyond your control. And you adopt the guise of powerlessness. Now, if you could gain a moral advantage from that, you know, that's a secondary gain. That's how that would be interpreted from a psychoanalytic perspective. It's doing something that isn't good for you because there's a payoff. And so if you construe yourself as a victimizer, you only believe you're moved about by external forces. You won't develop a vision of your own. And that will mean that you're anxious and confused because you're being buffeted around by the winds of external forces. It'll mean you have no direction in your life, and that makes you hopeless. The combination of those two things will mean that you have no motivation. And the consequence of that, and we know this perfectly well because highly motivated people are much more likely to be economically successful. The consequence of that is that you won't have any money. And then, of course, you'll use that to buttress your claim to victim status, and then you're in a loop. That's the dragon that eats its own tail, by the way. That's a symbol of chaos. And then you're basically in hell. So I wouldn't recommend that
we're in hell right
as
now.
A clinical psychologist, which I still am, by the way.
Bruh, that's crazy,
all right,
bro.
Next line.
That's crazy, dog. Now we living in this fucking woke-ass, sensitive-ass world where everybody's getting eaten up because everybody's getting pulled in every direction to accommodate everybody's fucking feelings. Well, not everybody's feelings, just the woke's feelings. They don't give a fuck about anybody else's feelings. You know what I mean? Fuck the parents' feelings that want to keep their children safe. Fuck the children's feelings.
Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive, but you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it.
Okay, now here's...
Let me see if you gonna see. Hip-hop shit. Pro. You know, there's all those P's. That's what you call alliteration. We tie that into rap. You know what I'm saying? Make shit sound right. You know what I mean? That's hip-hop stuff. But let's see where he goes psychologically with these bars. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love. You're progressive, but you ain't pro-gun. No one to protect it. That was fire, bro. That was some good rap shit from Tom MacDonald, bro. I ain't gonna count, dog.
Something else to understand. So imagine that you're, compassionate in your basic ethos. So you have a more feminine temperament. You're high in agreeableness. Now, but you're also full of pride, and so you want to overclaim the utility of that and bring everything to you, clutch the poisonous serpent to your breast, as I pointed out. Okay, so what's the problem with that? Well, this has been modeled very well, even computationally. We understand this. Make no mistake about that. So imagine you set up a society that's full of agreeable people who do nothing but cooperate. Fine, and they all get along, and that can be extraordinarily productive as long as people keep acting in that reciprocally altruistic manner, which means you treat someone well and they treat you well back. That can be extremely productive, and that's actually the basis of a productive society, one of the bases. It's not enough, though, because you need enforcement, and that's why you need men with spines. And the reason for that is that if you have a whole community of cooperators and you drop one cheater into the mix, one shark, he will eat everything.
Alive.
And so you can see this. You see this happening, for example, when Seattle set up its progressive city. It took like 2 weeks before it was controlled by armed gangs. And this exactly the same thing happened in Alberta recently, by the way, with all the tent cities. So as soon as you have a place of victimized people run by the hyper-compassionate, the bloody thugs move in, and then you better watch yourself. And if you think that's not, and then, of course, if you're hyper
proud, I gotta change this. I gotta change it. I got to. You talking too much real shit, man. I saw real shit, dog. I'm not trying to make it a us versus them type of thing, a man versus woman type of thing. It's reality though, bro. Because at the end of the day, man, that's the source of the problem, bro. We're way too compassionate and empathetic and trying to accommodate everybody's feelings where logic no longer matters. If logic no longer matters, reality no longer matters, then you can bet your ass at the end of everything is fucking coming. And who tends to be more logical? Who tends to be more empathetic, more emotional, more compassionate? A female temperament, like he's explaining this shit, bro. And the solution to that is to bring this back or make it a priority again, instead of demonizing it and shit. right? Because all it takes is, that's why we are a goddamn target right now, bro. Everybody's so fucking worried about somebody pulling up on US and wreaking havoc because we so goddamn soft. Military's down. The woke agenda is literally, they have their finger in everything. All the money is behind woke agenda, bro. Traditional conservative anything is demonized. It's not looked at. It's looked at as archaic and non-productive and shit, bro. We're too fucking far to the left, man. Bring masculinity back. Make it great again, bro. At least make it a priority. You know what I mean? But everybody knows that at the end of the day. Everyone knows that at the end of the day.
If you're prideful and hyper-compassionate, you're going to think, oh, the poor thugs, they just had it rough when they were children. You know, and a lot of them did, but I'll tell you something else about that. And that is that there's a lot of people who had it rough as children who don't turn into like psychopathic thugs. And all you hyper-compassionate people who are out there like feeling sorry for the criminals, you wait till they show up in your bloody house. You'll be thinking twice about that. And we've seen no shortage of that on the victimized liberal side, people who get mugged out in the street after they defund the police and short circuit because, oh my God, look, I got attacked. It's like, yeah, well, you enabled the psychopaths, and I wouldn't recommend that. So that's what happened.
This is a perfect example too, bro. What's going on in California and shit. He said Alberta, but like San Francisco and all that, bro, where the cops don't come to assist anything any longer, and everybody's getting their shit robbed and ransacked, cars broken into, stores broken into, thousands of dollars of merchandise being stolen, and nothing there to assist and mitigate it in any form or fashion. People are just walking around vulnerable as shit. Right, because of the compassion and empathy that the government is supposed to have on people, right? Police is doing too much. Policing is too harsh. The police are bad. You know what I mean? And now look at the situation, bro. One of my best friends, one of my homies, partners, he just moved to San Francisco, bro. Hit me up like, what's the best way for me to goddamn get a gun and get my CCW license, bro? Because that's the reality of the situation now, bro. I got to walk around packing because everything is so out of whack now. Because of the policies that have been put down, because of what JP's explaining, bro. Facts on facts on facts.
Compassion, defund the police, no protection, rule by psychopath. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow.
Okay, so the flag idea, man, that's a complicated idea. So the idea of a flag is something like the idea of a staff. And a staff, well, you have a staff if you run a business, and a staff is something you rely on. A staff is something that supports you. A staff is something that moves you forward. A staff is something that helps you find your way. A flag is a staff with a banner. And so the banner is something around which everyone can unite. A flag is a uniting symbol. Okay, so what's a rainbow flag? Well, let's think about it. It's a flag of division. Literally, because a rainbow is the division of a unity, what's white, into a plurality, what's a rainbow. And you can't have a unity of plurality. Well, you can in a world where a man can be a woman, you can have a unity of plurality. And I'll tell you, that's the reign of utter chaos. Now, we already pointed out that the reign of utter chaos brings in the psychopaths, the true oppressors, the real victimizers. And so, this pride flag, what would you say, waving, this proclamation, this praying in the streets, this false moralizing is a way of, once again, proclaiming to the world that your compassion is so overwhelming and inclusive that you can love the whole world. And that's fine, except for the snakes. And, you can imagine why women do that, because in some ways they want to advertise to men that they're going to be good mothers, and that is what they're doing, even if they don't know it. And then you might ask, well, why would men do it? And I'll tell you what sort of men do that. The sort of men who do that have no masculine utility whatsoever. And so they ape feminine utility. They act like girls. That's a good way of thinking about it. Then they can be a friend. Well, hopefully a friend with sexual benefits, right? And so loser men use false compassion pridefully as a way of attracting stupid women. And they're particularly good at doing that if they're psychopathic. And the data on that are very...
Male feminists. Hey, bruh. Dog, this shit is hard, bruh. This shit is hard, dog. Bruh. He used this song, Facts, to get more additional shit off his chest to let everybody know what the fuck is up. Hey, JP, a slick talking about, okay, bro, say, just give me a little something. Just give me a little something, bro. I'm about to dig in, bro. I'm about to talk my shit. Ooh, any man that tries to use compassion pridefully, it's like some Tindler swindler shit. I'm telling women what I know that they want to hear so I can goddamn exploit their ass. I can capitalize off their ass. You know what I'm talking about? Unless you're really a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really look at the world that way, but you're of use to no one at the end of the day. You know what I'm talking about? When shit hits the fan, you be the first one to drop. First one is useless. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this shit is tough. This shit is tough, bro. This is like the perfect song for JP to get his shit off, though, right? Because it is anti-woke, anti-establishment, right? These are all things JP stands on, bro. And it's going to make this song that much more polarizing, bro. It's the number one song in the world. Ben Shapiro's on it. Now you got Peterson doing a whole reaction to it, bro. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm thinking about, like, if he was to do this shit with another song. But I'm sure he'd be able to pull some shit out to get to talk his shit with, right? But, you know, facts represents what Jordan Peterson represents essentially in today's society. So it was the perfect medium for him to get his shit off, bro.
Very clear, because young women, especially naive young women, are much more likely to be sexually victimized by psychopaths and narcissists. And you might ask, well, how will the psychopaths and narcissists close themselves? And the answer is that they're not going to come out with shark teeth on,
they're going to come out like a little bitch.
Because then you'd know who they were.
They're
going to tell you how nice they are, how lovely they are, and how they care for everything in the world. It's like, you better take that with a grain of salt, because if you don't, you're going to pay for it. So we'll get back to that particular motif as we progress.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose.
Let's do it.
We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes.
Sons into thugs and your daughters into hoes. Yeah, that's a great juxtaposition, all of that. So the first thing Tom is doing is singing about hedonism, right? And that's the pursuit of, say, easy sex and materialist markers of localized success.
Dopamine
right? And
hits.
so then you might say, well, what sort of people pursue short-term mating strategies, because that's the technical biological definition, who are looking for easy sex, one-night stands, and who parade around their shallow materialism? And the answer is, we already talked about these people. We know this. Short-term mating preference is associated with the dark tetrad. Narcissism, so that's the desire for unearned social status. Machiavellianism, so that's the willingness to use manipulation to get what you want. Psychopathy, so the worst criminals are psychopaths, by the way. Psychopaths are predatory parasites. That's a bad combination. Now, first of all, those were the only 3 traits that were studied, but that didn't work out very well because it turned out there was a missing variable, and that was sadism. So if you're a psychopathic, narcissist, Machiavellian, you also end up wanting to hurt other people for your own pleasure. And those are the people who are engaging in the hedonistic strategy, right? Short-term pleasure. You see this, and they're the ones that'll enslave you. You see this in the Disney movie Pinocchio. It's beautifully portrayed because
no, bro, like that's extreme, dog. I get you, but like everybody that's out here trying to bust the nut is a narcissistic, Machiavellian sadist. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people that are enjoying the short pleasures of hedonism and that thrives in society right now, bro. But yeah, he went extreme as fuck on that shit, bro. God damn, dog. Like a lot of dudes just want to bust a nut. That's it.
the little thugs, Pinocchio falls in with the bad crowd, little thugs, led by Lampwick, by the way, and Lampwick is a reference to Lucifer, and Lucifer is the prideful intellect, by the way. And so Pinocchio, who's trying to become real, follows Lampwick and the coachman, who's like Satan himself, to Pleasure Island, where they do things like desecrate classic works of art. We've seen plenty of that lately. And they turn into braying jackasses who are then enslaved by dark forces operating behind the scenes. You remember that? Go watch that section of the movie and see if you can figure out what the hell it means. So what does it mean? There's something deep here. This thug-ho thing is extremely deep. So I'm going to read you something that you'll find quite interesting here. So this is from the book of Revelation, and it's quite a shocking account. This is really a hallucinogenic vision. And so this is the vision in Revelation 17:1-8. One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me,
All right. I have to tap out there, JP. This was definitely an experience. I'm gonna have to peep the rest of this shit like in a gym or something, bro, because he's saying a lot. It's a lot to unpack here, bro. It's just the optics of this is crazy. Listening to him, but he's not breaking down the lyrics. He hears a lyric, reads a lyric, and then explains to you what comes to mind when he hears that lyric. Doesn't necessarily have to do anything with the song exactly. It's just him unpacking what he believes that message to be to him, and extrapolating it society-wise, right? JP goddamn is a William Shakespeare with them words, bro. You know what I mean? It's a lot every time, dog. But yeah.